Normally when it comes to selling, it's quite annoying, especially in presentations. But I'm going to go through a way that you can do this, where you can sell without annoying people. So in this video, I'm going to go through the core concept that you need to follow if you want to sell in any sort of speech, whether that is for B2C or B2B. I'm then going to go through how most people get it wrong and tell stories in the wrong way, which is actually hindering their ability to get the sale. And number 3, how do you actually structure your stories in a way that gets people thinking, I want to have a slice of what he's having, or I want to have a slice of what she's having. I want a bit of that. So let's go through the first point. The first point being the core concepts, because people care about 3 things, but people only care about number 3, if you can answer number 1 and number 2. Number 3 being, if I copy you, will I get the same results as you or the same results as your client? And if you can answer that question, they will then care about what you did and how you did it. And when you do this, you've put your system on a pedestal. But if you only answer the first 2 questions, what you did and how you did it, but it's not able to be replicated by the people listening, you've now put yourself on the pedestal. You put your business on the pedestal. And in order for people to be sold to without you annoying them, they need to know that they can get the same results. If they can't get the same results, they won't care about what you've got to say. You need to think about, can the audience see themselves in your shoes doing the same thing that you're doing to get the same result that you've just got? Because if they can do that, your system's on the pedestal, and that is when you can sell to me without annoying me. Because when I'm on Instagram, I'm very much into my calisthenics, and I'll be scrolling along and I'll see people doing different movements, and one that I really want to get down is my planche. The planche is where your hands are on the floor, but your feet are off the floor, and you're kind of in this press-up position. But sometimes I'll be scrolling and I'll be seeing people say, oh, I can do a planche because I'm just really strong, I've been grafting my ass off, and that's why I can do a planche. And I'm like, I don't care, I'll scroll off. But then someone else will say, oh, I can do a planche because I've done this exercise and this exercise over the last 12 weeks, and I've been able to go from this to this. Straight away, I'm intrigued. I'm clicking on his profile. I'm clicking on the link in his bio to see what he's selling because I'm interested in that problem, in solving that problem. You see, even though he has created a transformation, he's put the system on the pedestal. So make sure you're putting your system on your pedestal and not making your business or yourself the hero of the story. And that is how you will paint their future. That's just one way how you can paint their future. Another way is by clicking the link below. This is completely free, and you will get a blueprint on creating an influential presentation. Not only will you get this blueprint, but you'll also get 11 other ways that you can paint their future and make your presentation more influential and create more impact, which will help you get the sale. Going on to how people tell their stories wrong. Because you're always taught with your stories to start with your context, create some sort of conflict, go through the cure, the change, and what's the carry out message. But when you do that sort of arc, when you're trying to sell something, you are going through a narrative arc when you really want their bank details. Now, if you want someone's bank details, you need to tell a selling story, not a narrative story. Narrative stories are great to get your message across of what you want to go through and really create that impact. But if you really want to sell something and you want to get someone's bank card out their wallet and get their money, you need to create a transformation. And I call this stopping the scroll. Imagine when you're on Instagram and you're going through. What stops the scroll? A transformation. When I see a fat person turn into a very muscular person or a fat person that's lost a lot of weight, it stops the scroll. I'm interested in their journey because straight away I've seen the transformation. You need to stop the scroll with your story. And the way that you can stop the scroll is by creating this then, now, and how. You see, on these Instagram posts, they have the then, what you used to be like, what you want to avoid. That's all what the then is about. What do you think the audience wants to avoid? Let's use the transformational pictures of people's physiques. They want to avoid being fat. Then what's the now? The now is what they want to attain. What do you think your audience wants to attain associated with the thing you're selling? So if we're talking about the gym transformation, people want to attain a good physique because they'll be healthy. So they want to avoid a fat body, but they want to attain a great physique. They want to have muscles. They want to be fit. They want to be able to see their six pack. That's things people want to attain. And you see, you've created this transformation journey. Now they're interested into the how. What did you do to create that transformation? And that's what you've got to do with your stories if you're trying to sell something. That's how you'll sell without annoying people, showing them a result, a transformation that they want in their life. But how do you really get that bank card out? And that is going through the how. When you're talking about the how, you need to make this sound really hard to achieve, but then you're going to make it really easy for them to achieve. So you want to talk about the money you've spent, the sacrifices that you've had to do, the time it took, the blood that's shed if there was any blood. But you want to make it sound really hard, and then you want to filter it down on, this is how long it took me, this is everything I've learned. I've been able to slim this down into, let's just say an example, if it's the transformations for going to the gym, I've been able to slim this down into a 12-week program where you will get X, Y, and Z result. You want to make it sound stupid for them not to get their bank card out. And that is how you can sell without annoying people. And where would you put this in your presentation? Well, I'd have your opening, I'd have your main points, the main bulk of your presentation. I then would include the then, now, how formula. I then would include the closing. So they are walking out that room with a message that you intended them to have, what you wanted them to think, feel, or do after listening to you. But that is a way that you can sell to people without annoying them. People always have the association of selling to be annoying. But really, if you're selling the right way, people will be begging to give you money. They'll be begging to get your product. They'll be begging to get their bank card out because you've sold in a way that is not annoying by using the SWOP formula. And I have totally forgot what I recorded last week or the other day. So I'm going to go look on YouTube right now so I can upsell that video as well. My videos. Oh, I did a video on PowerPoints, but I'll be honest, not really performed the best compared to the other ones. So I'm going to upsell this one right here, because although you need to know the then, now, how formula, if you want to sell to your audience, you also need to know how to give your points in a way that can be remembered. And if you want to do that, you should probably check out this video. Anyway, adios. Today, we've got a push day. I'm going to be working on my planche. I'm going to be working on my handstands. I'm going to be working on the bench press.